Hi everybody, it's Undaunted Week here at OnTableTop.com, and we have a huge prize bundle that you could win. Our lucky winner will receive copies of Undaunted Normandy, North Africa, Reinforcements, Stalingrad, and we're even throwing in a signed copy of the Roland's Revenge art book. Get your comments in on the YouTube channel and on OnTableTop.com for your chance to win.
Hello everybody and welcome to Undaunted Week. Now, I'm going to be playing a solo mission. Using the reinforcement set, you can play solo missions and 4-player missions throughout North Africa and Normandy. I've played a North African game before on the site with free, but this time I thought I would show people what goes into a solo game. So, the first thing you need to do is select your mission and setup, which, as you can see, is done here already. We're going to be playing Scenario 8, Town and Fort. With this setup, you get a solo mission book. So, if I go here, you can see this is the Reinforcements solo book. And then you find your relevant scenario from the initial Normandy or North Africa set, and it tells you what you need to do. So for this particular mission, there are no changes to the setup, which is great. So it plays out exactly as if you were playing an actual opponent. Sometimes you may find that they change things, objectives or mounts of cards. It's then color coded. So if you're playing with the AI, the bot being the long range desert group, you'll use these mustard coloured boxes, and if you're playing with them being the Italians, you'll use the brown boxes. So in this case, I'm actually going to be playing as the LRDG, playing against the AI Italians. So once you've got that, it then tells you to form your bolster decks into two, well, for the Italians for this mission, into 2 decks. So what I have is deck A and deck T, which is where the tank crew lives. Normally your bolster cards are all set out like mine are, where every unit is split, and then when I'm bolstering I get to choose. When the AI bolsters, it's random, so you never know what's coming at you. The last bit of information on this, the bigger box, is actually the dangerous units. So during the game I'll be using an AI card, and the card itself will tell you what you need to do in various steps, and sometimes it may refer to dangerous units, in which case that is the priority for dangerous units. The solo deck setup for Normandy and for North Africa is an interesting concept. There's a lot of AIs in games, a lot of solo AIs, and it's very basic. It's default move towards X, attack Y, if you're ranged, attack if you can't move, or if you can't attack, move, blah, blah, blah. Very simple, but very predictable. What they did with Reinforcements was come up with a set of AI cards. So when you come to play a mission, you take 1 card for every unit in the game that you're going to be controlling, but they are subdivided into the actual scenario. So I have the card here for Rifleman for Scenario 8, which is the scenario we're going to be playing. If I flip it over, you'll see the alternate side has the Rifleman activations for Scenario 11, and there are multiple cards for each thing. So when you're playing in a solo game, you know what they're going to do, but what they do is specifically tailored to the scenario. So they won't just run towards an enemy and start attacking. If the scenario is for me to go and capture points or blow things up, then the AI will take that into account and to prioritize defending areas or defending objectives that could be blown up. If they are playing as the British AI, then they would have more aggressive counterattacking or pushing on the objectives, because the whole idea is the British have to attack and the Italians are defending. So it's a fascinating way they've done it. Some cards will work for multiple scenarios. The machine gunner here is for scenario 1, 2, 8, and 9. So they're a very predictable set of mechanics. But in those other scenarios, there'll be other cards, which is really, really engaging and means you have to think. There's also 2 modes. You can play on an easy mode, where you draw a card for the AI for initiative, and then discard it, and then draw 3 cards to play against them in the same way that you'd be playing against a regular opponent. They would have to choose one from their hand and then would discard. In this case, you can either play that, or you can play a hard mode where they keep the card if they win initiative. So they'll be playing with 4 cards instead, which could be a little bit interesting, let's face it. So, what is my scenario? Town and Fort, El Izayat, northeastern Libya, 24th of November, 1941. In November 41, the LRDG, now under command of the newly formed 8th Army, moved from Kufru to Swia in central Libya to support Operation Crusader. On the 24th of November, when the battle in Tobruk reached a critical stage, the role of the LRDG suddenly changed. The 8th Army ordered the patrols to act with utmost vigour offensively against any enemy targets or communications within their reach. The LRDG was tasked with attacking targets in Mekelle, Derna, Gazala areas. One of the targets was a fort near the village of El Izat. So, for me, the LRDG objective is to claim 2 objective points by destroying structures or controlling tiles. So this is a demolishable fuel dump worth 1. This town is worth 1, and this heavily fortified Italian garrison is worth 2. The Italian objective is to neutralise the sergeant and either my staff sergeant or the saboteur. So the AI will have to go gunning for my men. So that is the setup. That's the board. The only thing to do is to get stuck in. All right, we are back for the first turn. First thing to do, for me, is to draw 4 cards and then decide which of these will be my initiative. I don't really want to give up any of these. They're all quite good to begin with, but I'm loath to let the AI kick off. So I'm actually going to pick my sergeant. Then we draw randomly for the AI. And annoyingly, he's drawn the platoon sergeant. So he wins the initiative. That card also stays. And then we draw 3 more cards. And the way the AI works, you set them out from highest to lowest and then use them in that order. So that will be the activation for this turn. Platoon sergeant, squad leader, crewman, and then tank driver. So right off the bat, the platoon sergeant, if I look at his card, this tells me he only has 1 thing to go through. Roll a d10. On a 1 to 4, he will bolster 1 card from A and 1 card from T deck. And on a 5 to 10, he will command 2. So I'll just go ahead and roll that. So 8, he's actually going to command 2. So he's going to draw 2 more cards. Bump, bump. And then these will go into this area. He's now discarded. We actually have a scout and a machine gunner. Wow, that's appalling. So starting with our squad leader. The squad leader will inspire the next 2 matching cards in the play area, and there are 2, both matching. So he will do that. The way to do that is just to tap them to show that they've got 2 activations. My scout. So first off, fog of war in the play area. He would recon. Nope. The tile is secure. It is, because it's controlled currently by the Italians, so he's fine. Select a destination within 2 tiles. A threatened objective. There are no threatened objectives. Haven't even moved out my area yet. A unscouted objective as destination. We do have one of those, which is this ammunition dump or fuel dump way up the top. So in that case, he will go towards that and move 2, scouting as he goes. So the scout will take the most direct route, 1 to there for a scout, and then to there for another scout. And in doing so, pick up 2 Fogs of War cards for their discard pile. So that's the first scout activation. Tip him that way up and activate him again. So again, no threatened, he'll go straight to scouting a uncontrolled objective, which means he will then go into there and scout that as well for another Fog of War. It's a very nimble scout right off the bat. Our machine gunner. So, first off, enemy with a total defense value of less than 6 or 6 or less, it will attack. If there's an enemy with a total defense value of 8 or less, it will suppress. So let's see who's out and about. Machine gunner is way back here. 1, 2, it's going to be 3 squares away. So 3 plus the defense of 3 is 6. That's going to be 11 and 12. Can't hit either of those. This sniper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. Can't do that one either. Could take a shot at the trucks, but with the range and the light skin on it and the armor, they're going to be over the number as well. So unfortunately, the machine gunner cannot fire or suppress. So instead, it will roll a d10. And on a 1 to 5, it will find the most dangerous enemy and move closer. And on the 7 to 10, oh, sorry, 6 to 10, it will suppress the most dangerous enemy. So, can't actually suppress any of those. So it's going to go for the move towards the most dangerous enemy. And the most dangerous enemy to those is my staff sergeant currently. So where's my staff sergeant living? Staff is up here. Machine gunner can move into there because it's scouted. So his first activation moves to there. His second activation, because he was inspired, will be to attempt to suppress. So 1, 2, 5, 10. He can suppress the staff sergeant on a 10 with 4 dice. This would be annoying, Mr. Machine Gunner. Oh my God, 2 of them. All right, that is very annoying indeed. So he's done. Staff sergeant is also done. And we have 2 left, our tank crewman and our tank driver. Crewman first. His vehicle is undamaged, so he won't be repairing. An enemy with a total defense of less than 6, he will attack. So I don't think anybody is close enough to have a defense value less than 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, yeah, 12 for each of those vehicles at the moment. So, seats vehicle action. My crewman can either attack or suppress from where he is on the machine gun. That's not going to happen. currently, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not going to happen either. Okay. So the tank crewman unfortunately can't do anything because he's not in a position where he can fire. And annoyingly, the tank driver is going to activate next. So the tank driver will actually go ahead and do something, which would have been good to have beforehand, but you know, you can't have everything. He's in a medium tank. He would control in this area, which is already controlled, so he doesn't need to worry. Tile is controlled and the enemy is occupying it. He would attack. Nope. He's in a vehicle with greater than 4 damage on him. No. So enemy with a total defense of less than 6. Attack. No. The tile is secure and the seat's vehicle action is drive. Yes, it is. Select a destination within X tiles so he can move 1. Select a threatened objective as destination. Nope. Find the most dangerous enemy. There is, obviously, the staff sergeant is most dangerous, even though he's suppressed currently. And then after that, the engineer. So he will move, and it doesn't matter which of these tiles he moves into, but he can't go into this one because it's not accessible to vehicles. So that's equidistant. Tank driver moves to there, and that is the bot's first turn, which it has to be said is kind of annoying. He's already suppressed my staff sergeant. I already dislike him, and we've only just started. For myself, I have a warrant officer. So I can bolster or inspire. I think in this case, I'm going to bolster. Now I know that they're going to be going hell for leather for my staff sergeant. I'm going to go ahead and play that and bolster 2. I think I'm going to take the anti-tank rifleman and my sergeant for my 2. And then my sniper will get to go. And my sniper is in the back line. I'd love to attack here, but it's very tricky to get. So I'm actually going to move up into the hill across that little valley and get in position for next turn. And that's the first turn done. So pushing on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I had a final Fog of War card in my hand. That's into my discard. Okay. Moderately better. I think I'm going to go with this for my initiative. So Fog of War, because I don't really want to lose any of the cards in there. Yeah, Italians also have a Fog of War, but he keeps the initiative because he already had it. Cheeky. But it does mean 1 less card going into his hand, which is going to be these. So put them in order. A rifleman, a tank gunner, and a Fog of War. So the rifleman, way back at the start. No point in controlling, he already owns it. No enemy close by. So in this case, he's going to go towards an uncontrolled objective as the destination, which will be this one up north. So he's just going to go ahead and move 1 to there and be done. And then my tank gunner, or rather their tank gunner. So he's right up Main Street right now and can see a couple of people. So seats vehicle action is anti-tank. anti-tank 3, and he's going to go for the closest enemy vehicle, going for the most dangerous followed by the lowest defense, and then randomizing. So both enemy vehicles are in the same slot, 1, 2 away. So do we have a specific dangerous one? Danger is generally based on the people in them. The gun truck has got the sergeant, scout, and anti-tank. And the pilot truck is currently empty. The anti-tank rifleman is the third most dangerous target, so he will go for the gun truck, which is very annoying, and he will, if he does any damage, he'll damage the anti-tank rifleman in there, which is more annoying again. So 3 dice. We are 1, 2 away, plus 2 for the cover. So that's on 4. Oh, excellent. Gun truck is armor 4. So 8's required. Annoyingly, he gets 1. Gets 2 actually. You only ever do 1 point of damage. So I'll pop that on the gun truck. But he will also cause 1 damage to the anti-tank. And it works exactly the same way as if you're taking casualty from shooting. So you start with, if you happen to have 1 in your hand, it goes first and is discarded from the game. That's annoying. I was hoping for great things from that anti-tanker. But, c'est la vie, it's my phase. And first thing I'm going to do then is activate my staff sergeant to unpin. And then I'm going to activate my saboteur. He can actually stalk, and stalking is good because it means he can enter unscouted areas. So he's going to go to there. And that will be all I can do. So we're back to initiative. 2 cards for me. I'll have to shuffle these. And already you can see the Italians they're not pinning me down, but they've severely hampered my plans to go forward. 2 more. And that's not a great hand, it has to be said. That's so not a great hand. I'm going to go with this. So, Fog of War. And the Italians are going to bring in a massive 8. So they're going to keep it, but at least that recon aircraft is not going to be there strafing me this turn. And I will take anything I can get at the moment. I'm not proud. If they want to recon where I am, then they can do that. Only 1 card for the Italians. So I have to shuffle their deck back. Oh, hang on a minute. I've just remembered. If they win the initiative, that card stays in play. Oh, no. Oh, God. Well, that's not very pleasant at all. Okie dokie. Oh, all the big guns are coming out. Oh, my word. Okay. Recon aircraft then. First thing a recon aircraft will do is select 2 targets. Choose unscouted objectives as targets. Starting with value. We have no unscouted targets. Unscouted tiles that will connect friendly soldiers to objectives. Yes, there is 1. This. They will then surveil the target. So that will be now scouted for that rifleman. Another Fog of War card will go into the discard pile. Thankfully, there's not a second one for it to do. So that's okay. If I hadn't been able to do that, it would start strafing me. So I'm quite content for it to not do that right now, to be fair. Next up, our platoon sergeant. That's a dice roll again. 4 this time means he will be bolstering 1 card from each deck. So, bolster, bolster. Oh good, a tank crewman and a machine gunner will be coming my way in the future. I look forward to them. And we have our tank commander. So the tank commander will inspire the next matching 2 cards in play. So thankfully there's only 1, but it is the tank gunner. And our gunner will immediately attempt to start strafing my gun truck again, I think. Specifically aiming at that delightful young chap in the gun seat. So exactly the same again. 1, 2, 4, and 4 is 8. 3 dice anti-tank roll on 8s. That's either an 8 or a 10. I'll give it to it. I'll take another point of damage on the gun truck. And no anti-tank in there. 1 anti-tank rifleman in there. I'm so glad I bolstered you. Just lose you again. Oh. Not a good day to be the anti-tank rifleman. He could be shot out of this chair right now. I will cry if that is the case. He will untap and do exactly the same thing again for his inspired action. And another one. Oh my god. So my anti-tank is actually shot out. And there's no coming back for him. Not in this mission. He's just gone. He's dead. Dead, Jim. Right. Thankfully, he was not one of the victory conditions for the Italians, because otherwise I'd be on my heels already. But let's see whether or not I can actually activate something before I get shot off. I do have a scout. So my scout is going to recon away a fog of war. And in doing so, allow me to draw a new card, which is a saboteur. Excellent. And then I have my lieutenant. So I can bolster or command. I think I need to command because I have not managed to get out of my starting area yet because I've been just riddled with bullets. So that's a good hand. So now I can possibly think about doing stuff. I've got my staff sergeant, and my saboteur are all there, ready to go. I'm going to go staff sergeant first. He could actually scout himself, but he's going to take a shot at the scout up here. So 1, 2 away, +1 for the cover, +5 for his natural defense. So 8, a single die on 8. I mean, it's a vain hope, but yeah, it really was a vain hope. Okay. So my sergeant, who's in the gun truck, which hasn't been disabled yet, although is very, very close, he is going to drive. He can drive 2. Oh my, he can't, can he? Because of the position he's in currently. So do I move him into the anti-tank seat? Do I just run away? Yeah, I'm going to change seats in there. And hopefully I'll be able to knock out that tank before it takes me to the cleaners. My final card is my saboteur, who will stalk into there. And I think that's the end of my phase. So, back to a new initiative round. 1, 2, 3. No, smashing. I'd have more cards if the Italians stopped killing them. I don't know why they do that. I don't think they like me much. Right. Better, like it, excellent, all of that. All of that. The only problem with this is I have to give one of these cards up, and I don't want to. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. I want the initiative back. So I'm going to go with initiative 8, and the Italians only have initiative 5, so they lose it. And for once, don't get 4 cards as well. That's excellent news. So initiative is mine. I'll do my actions before they draw. So I'm going to start with my sniper. So my sniper can take a shot. 1, 2 at their gunner. Uses the smaller because we're both elevated. So 3, 7. 7 dice snipe. Sorry, a 3 dice snipe attack on 7s, attempting to take out their machine gunner. Doesn't count if it's not in the tray. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible news. Especially if anybody could see that it was a 10 outside of the tray. Okay, sniper, you failed me. But maybe the others won't. So, my scout. My scout is going to attempt to navigate from the seat of the gun truck. So he can navigate here and here, which I think he will have to do because I need to try and, if I can nip round the back, then at least I've got a chance of getting into their unoccupied area right now. Although I will take 2 fog of war for my troubles. And then finally my sergeant, who's now in the anti-tank seat, will take a shot at this medium tank. So 1, 2, 3, 8. So it's a 2 dice attack on 8s. Ooh, and I get 1. I do get 1. So that's great news. They'll take a point. And I should have said who I was attacking, and I didn't. However, it's the gunner who's causing me all the issues at the moment. So the gunner will take a pot. Unfortunately, I know they've got 1 in their deck. Oh, sorry, in their discard. So it goes to there. Actually, it doesn't go to there. I'll show you why. If they get shot and they haven't activated, you pop a little control token on them, and then you deal out from their hand as normal. And if you happen to come across one of their cards, then they lose this activation, as if it had been in their hand. In this case, no. So that's all right. So their squad leader. He will inspire the next 2 matching cards, and they have 2 matching cards. That's very annoying. The gunner should also have taken a control marker for not being hit. So, squad leader works. The machine gunner actually goes last. Scout goes first, top to bottom. So Scouty. He's currently no fog of war in the play area to recon. Tile is currently secure, but enemy is on this tile, so he will attempt to attack the saboteur. So, saboteur hit on a 7, 1 dice roll. Oh, of course he would. Why would he not hit him on the 7? Of course, of course, of course. Nobody in there. Somebody from my deck. Bye, Saboteur. We'll miss you. Not much, mind you. No point in shuffling those. I've only got 4 cards in there. It will be my hand next turn. And then the scout will activate and do exactly the same thing again. Single die shot on 7. Good. I'm glad you missed. Very glad. And this brings us back to our machine gunner. First activation will just be to lose that control marker that was inflicted on it by the sniper. And then the second will be to actually engage. So an enemy with a defense value of 6 or less. So 1, so he's on 7, 8, 9 for the sniper, or 1, 2, 3, 9 for the saboteur. So they're both the same. So he's not going to attempt to attack or suppress those. However, he will randomize instead. Find the most dangerous enemy. So our most dangerous enemy for him, I have a horrible feeling it's going to be Staff Sergeant again. Oh, actually, Staff Sergeant may have been suppressible. 1, 2, 3, 8. Yeah, he would have just went ahead and tried to suppress the Staff Sergeant before he got to that. I do apologise. 4 dice suppression on 8s then. And of course he suppresses the Staff Sergeant. Of course he does. Why would he not? You're never getting out of that actual zone, are you, my friend? It's not feeling particularly healthy for the LRDG at the moment. I really hope this will swing it back my way. At least I have the initiative currently. Question is, what do I want to give to keep it? I really like that. I really need him to do something. Oh my God. I'm going to have to... It's terrible, terrible news whatever way I look. It's 3 of my best cards and I have to choose between them. I think I'm going to have to give up the Sergeant currently. He's in less trouble than the Staff Sergeant. And his opponent says tank crewman, so I get to keep the initiative, which again is excellent news. But what will I do? What will I do? It's my discard. I think my lieutenant is going to bolster, actually. Oh no, actually, my lieutenant will command. Yeah, because the anti-tank rifleman's gone. No point in trying to bolster him. So, shuffle him in, or add him to the discard after I've done this. So, 2-card command. He is now my discard. And the survey says, oh, good news. So Fog of War isn't great. We'll just chuck it now. My Staff Sergeant at least gets to unsuppress. And then my Sergeant, he is going to take another shot at the medium tank and attempt to take out the gunner again. So, before 1, 2, 3, 8, 2 dice shot on 8s. Oh, he gets him. He gets him by jingo. So I'll mark him up. Take another point of damage on the medium tank. They need to take 3 to be disabled, which would be good because it will force them to get out and start moving around a bit. My gunner. Ooh, doesn't have another gunner in there. That could be all she wrote. Unless they've got one in their deck. They don't have one in their deck. That's excellent news. The tank gunner is dead. Long live my sergeant. So he can go. And as you can see, the Italian requires a specific man to man that. It is a clever man's job. So I'm actually going to take a shot and attempt to take out the tank crewman, because I don't mind if the tank just starts driving around. If it can't shoot and suppress me, that's less of an issue for me. So 2 dice attack on 8s again for the tank crew. No, not this time. But successful nonetheless. Sergeant. Nice 2-card pull there. And then the Italians. I'm going to go Fog of War. Fog of War. Tank driver. Oh, tank driver. Whatever are you going to do? Currently with 2 hits on you and a dead gunner. You are not in a vehicle with greater than 4 damage. You are currently in a medium tank that can control. You can't attack. So, can he drive off having seen scouted things? If he starts coming all the way back, he could attempt to reinforce this scout here, which I think is what he's going to have to do for a threatened objective. So he only has a move of 1. So comes back this way. It's all he can do. And then the 2 Fog of War will mean the end of the Italians' turn. Then back to initiative. 2, 3, 4. Good, good, terrible, lovely. Our survey says I could do that. I'm going to risk. Am I? Yeah. I'm going to risk a big card here. So my warrant officer. Oh, Fog of War. That's kind of heartbreaking. I thought I was going to get rid of something huge there. My scout is currently in the gun truck. I'm going to actually recon away a Fog of War card. So my scout will recon that. And in doing so, pick up the last card, which is another Fog of War card. Well done, Scout. But 1 more out of the deck. That's good. My final card then is just my sniper, who will shoot at the gunner again. 2, 3, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. 3 dice on 9 to shoot the scout. I think I'm going to take the cheeky shot on the scout. 9s and 10s. Oh, and I get 1. Excelente. So, no scouts there. A scout there. I'll shuffle this deck and mark him off just in case a card would have come out for him. Right, Italians. So the first thing they get is the remaining 2 cards from their hand and 3 Fog of War. Oh dear, poor showing from the Italians. The tables have turned. New initiative phase. I'm feeling suddenly springy. There's a little spring in my step. I think I might be able to pull something out here. I can come off the scout. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, I feel less springy. I'm going to risk this. I'm going to risk a fog of war. Oh, gets one of their fog of war. Excellent. I keep the initiative. And with the initiative, my scout is going to recon away a fog of war card, allowing me to draw a sniper. Okay. My sniper is going to take a shot back at this scout, which I know I shouldn't, but I will. So on 9s again. No. Too greedy. I was far too greedy. But what can you do? Sometimes you just have to take it. And then my staff sergeant, he will finally come down out of the rocks. He will scout into there, thus gifting me one of my remaining fog of war cards. Now, what do the Italians do? Machine gun, sergeant, tank commander. Okay. So platoon sergeant, he is a dice off. 6. So he will bolster 1 from each deck. A and T. Then he will join them. Tank commander. He would normally inspire, but he doesn't have a friend, so he will bolster 1 from T and 1 from T. So plenty of tank bits going in there now. That's very disappointing. And finally our machine gunner, who is not suppressed. He can go 1, 2, 3, 9. Nope. 1, 2, 7. Yes, he will attempt to suppress the staff sergeant once more. A 4 dice on 7s. And he does it. Of course he does it. Okay, staff sergeant. At least you're not being killed. I suppose you can take solace in that fact, if nothing else. The fact you're still kind of alive. 1, 2, 3, yep. Full hand of 4. And it's a good one. It's a good one. Let's go with my sergeant, and the Italians will go with a rifleman. So I get to keep the initiative. So that's good news. And I've got sergeant, a warrant officer, and a lieutenant to play with. I think I need to bolster with at least one of these guys. So I think I'm going to bolster twice with a warrant officer. And I'm going to take staff sergeant and sergeant, one of each, because obviously they are the mission for the Italians. I don't want to lose them. And then actually going to go with a command with my lieutenant to draw 2 cards. And having neatly just bolstered, hopefully it'll be somebody I need or want. One, 2. So let's see who we get. Ooh, fog of war can just go away. But that makes life interesting. So, obviously, lieutenant goes. Warrant officer and a sergeant again. I think the sergeant can control. Sergeant is going to move back to the driving seat first, and then the warrant officer will inspire him to activate again, and we will finally get this rickety show on the road. Drive 2, 1, 2 to there, and then we'll have a look and see what the Italians are up to. Oh God. That's not great for me. Not great at all. The recon aircraft, there are no unscouted things it needs to do. Yeah, no unscouted objectives and no unscouted tiles that would connect friendly soldiers to objectives. So without any fog of war in the recon area, it is actually going to strafe, and we'll go for the most dangerous, then lower defense, and then random. Most dangerous is the staff sergeant, who is currently out here in the terrible, terrible place. It's a strafe 1 attack. There's no range. Staff sergeant is in cover though, so 6. 1 dice on 6. Thank you so much for not shooting me. Okay, so the recon aircraft goes away. And then we've 2 tank crewmen. Medium tank is not destroyed and doesn't have greater than 3 damage, so he's not going to hop out and repair. Enemy with a total defense value of less than 6. He will attack. Is there an enemy close enough with less than 6? 1, 2, 3. So 7 for the staff sergeant. 2, 3, 4. 10 for the saboteur. 10 for the sniper. No, 11 for the sniper. Yeah, he's not going to be doing any of that. So he's not going to be suppressing. So he's going to randomize. On a 1 to 5, he will repair. On a 6 to 10, seats vehicle action to suppress, although we already know that that's not going to work. I might be able to suppress the vehicle. Oops. Nope, he's going to attempt to repair. So, a cheeky repair action. Currently has 1 bit of damage on there. So that'll come off. And then same thing again. Another dice roll for the second tank crewman. 1 to 5, another repair. Another repair, of course, why not? All my hard work undone by an Italian with a spanner. Okie dokie. 1, 2, 3, 4. And good, like it, yes. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit, I think. Going to go with the fog of war, and they up the ante with a machine gunner. The tides have turned. It was only a matter of time. So machine gunner, tank driver, fog of war, squad leader. Sort them into order. So squad leader has got people out there. He will inspire the machine gunner, which is not a good sign for me. And he'll go away. Machine gunner. He may actually be in a position where he can strafe the staff sergeant. Oh, I've got myself into a terrible position. Total defense value of 6 or less. 1, 2. Oh, no, that's okay. He's 7. So he will attempt to suppress. Most dangerous first. So sniper is 6. 7, 8, 9. Staff sergeant is 6, 7. Yeah, 4 dice. Well, he's already suppressed, so you'd have to suppress the sniper. What's the sniper? Ooh, 6, 7, 8. No, saboteur will get the suppression. Can't suppress somebody who's already suppressed. Oh my God, he does it as well. Okay, well, we're not fans of you, machine gunner, and I will shoot you in the head next time a sniper comes out. He will then do exactly the same thing again. However, he's now suppressed everything. He can suppress. So, in this case, he will 10. Suppress 4 dice, dangerous, lower defense, or random. I think it's going to end up being randomized between the sniper and the gun truck. Yeah, that's 9 to him, and that's 1, 2, 3, 9 to him. So it is just going to be randomized. Oh well. 1 to 5 sniper, 6 to 10 gun truck. And then we'll see what poor person gets shot in the gun truck, if it happens to go that way. Nope, it's going to be for the sniper. So 4 dice suppression on 9s on the sniper. No, does not suppress the sniper. Nobody is more surprised than I. It's machine gunner done. So tank driver next. I think he's going to keep plowing up towards that uncontrolled objective. Going to head off towards this. Heading norths very slowly. The only problem is whenever I go into the objective behind them, he'll just turn around and come back again. And then fog of war lifts as well. So medium tanks in there. Don't know how long he'll be in there for. Sneaking suspicion he may truck back any moment. So my hand. I'm actually going to scout to move him into the anti-tank slot. No, I need to keep him in navigate. So I want to navigate there. Pop that and pop another fog of war into my discard. But now we can get in. And then I'm going to play my sergeant to move. And then play a second sergeant to control. And I think that wins me the game. If I flip that over, and I'm in control of 2 points. Yeah, I've won. Nobody's more surprised than I am. A little nip in the back with the LRDG and take control of the village. My saboteur and staff sergeant never quite managed to get near this. But there you have it. That's a solo game of North Africa for Undaunted. It's a really interesting system. The cards take a little bit of getting used to because you're never going to learn them all. As you play through the various scenarios, they change because they're set for the scenarios. And then you can play both sides in the scenarios. So there's a set of scenario 8 cards for the LRDG as well if you want to take the Italians out. So you can get plenty of replayability through the reinforcement set. And then obviously there's downloads available as well. There's a new North African scenario that you can download from the Osprey website. But that hopefully will give you an idea of how the solo game plays out. And it's not the easiest. The AI is certainly no walkover, and I came very, very close to losing. Definitely my staff sergeant. If it hadn't been for a few suppressions, if he'd been in a bit more open space, he probably would have been shot off the board a turn or two earlier. But there you have it. Let me know what you think below. If you spotted any glaring errors, feel free to drop them below, and hopefully I'll be able to pick it up a bit better next time. But until next time, folks, bye-bye.
Hi everybody, it's Undaunted Week here at OnTableTop.com, and we have a huge prize bundle that you could win. Our lucky winner will receive copies of Undaunted Normandy, North Africa, Reinforcements, Stalingrad, and we're even throwing in a signed copy of the Roland Revenge art book. Get your comments in on the YouTube channel and OnTableTop.com for your chance to win.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.